Debbie with Kip's Corner. Welcome back. And if you're new, welcome. So it's Wednesday. It's not. I'm recording ahead of time, but when you see this, it'll be Wednesday. So we're going to pretend like it's Wednesday. So it's Wednesday. And throughout the month of March, I'm doing a series on Wednesdays called One Tag, 8 Ways. And so what I've done is I have pulled multiple prints. I have printed out this tag. This is a tag I selected, and this is from Tracy Fox Creative, LoveJunkJournals on Etsy, and this is from Compendium MK2. And what I'm doing is I'm taking this tag each week, same tag, so we're going to get tired of this tag, but I'm taking this tag, and I selected this one because it is so neutral, and I am using it as a starting point and creating at least 8 different tags throughout the month of March using different techniques and different types of construction and things like that. And so last week, the video is up on these two. So on these two, I kind of went with the theme of tag on top of tag. On one, I put our base tag on the bottom, and on the other, I put our base tag on the top. And I just added some simple sewing. The tag from the background on this one is also from Compendium MK2. And then the Fox tag here on the front, on the top of this one, is from a different kit of Tracy's. And that is from Mega Mix and Match 2, I believe. I will put links to all of these below. I've basically just pulled prints of all of her newest kits. Mega Mix and Match 1, Mega Mix and Match 2, Compendium MK2, and Fabulous Floral Flourishes. And is that it? Am I forgetting about any of them? I think those are the 4 kits I'm primarily looking at, although don't be surprised if I maybe pull something from Pretty Patchwork at some point, because that's another pretty cool kit that just came out, or that isn't old at all. So yeah. So these are the 2 I did last week, and this week I'm basing think of the word deconstruction. Michelle Scott has been working on an envelope journal, and she did a wonderful job, and that kind of prompted me to think through what I might do. She did a great job of taking some of the pages from Compendium, same kits, some of the Compendium Mega Mix and Match, and cut out a bunch of pieces and sort of created her own collaged tags and some things like that. And so what I want to do is talk about how you can take something like this and you can deconstruct this and reconstruct it to make it your own. And the basis for this series really has to do with taking digital kits and using parts and pieces in many different ways. And in this case, a single tag in many different ways. And of course, everybody's style is different. I mean, 10 of you could do this exact same thing and your tag is going to look completely different from mine. And that creates these unique pieces, or in this case, ephemera pieces for your journals, and nobody else is going to have it, even though perhaps hundreds of people have the exact same digital kit. And so that's kind of the point of this whole series, is how you can take a piece and really make it your own and really, have some fun with it. So deconstruction. By deconstruction, I mean taking something apart and reconstruction and putting it back together again. And when we reconstruct, we're not necessarily going to reconstruct in the exact same way that it was originally constructed. And so what I've done is two different things. I don't know if these are both in camera. I did go ahead and ink like I did last time, just so these videos are not ridiculously long. But what I did is take my tag, and on one of them, I took 2. On one of them, I cut the pieces out following the lines that are here, that are already here. And I just cut each of these individual components out separately. And then, so here's this piece, right? And then I put some ink on it, and that's that. I may not have cut them very well, but I did. On the other one, I ripped the pieces. I ripped the pieces all into, I sort of still followed the lines, but they're not cleanly cut, they're ripped. And ripping, of course, is something that we all love to do. And so on one tag, I'm going to reconstruct a tag using just all ripped pieces. The only trimmed edges will be on the edges of my tag, and on the other one I'm going to reconstruct using some nice clean cut shapes and stuff. Now on the cut tag, I decided I wanted to head in the yellow world with this. Yellow is probably my least favorite color, but I tell you what, when I saw this page, and it's cut up, so this is only half of it. This is from Mega Mix and Match 2. This flower is just gorgeous, and so I cut it out of the other side here, as well as a couple of the other little pieces that were on this. Got that cut out, and I've got those pieces sitting here. I did the same thing. I went ahead and inked them. The other one, I was originally headed in the direction of maybe we go blue. We do something in the yellow world, and we do something in the blue world. And so I had this page, and you can see where I ripped. I just ripped out a chunk of it. But as I'm looking at this, I think I didn't really get the blue. I got the natural, the creamy color. So I don't know if this will end up being a little bit bluer or not, but we'll see. So I'm going to set that one aside for the moment and concentrate on this one. And I sort of have an idea of how I want to lay this out. And so I'm going to start gluing this. I want to, and my pieces are odd shaped here. Oh, and I'm using, here, let's see if I can just slide this off sort of the way I had it, just so I don't forget. I'm using, this is a chipboard tag. This is from it's from a die cut, an older tag die cut that I have that I think is a Tim Holtz die cut. And it's sort of chomped and chewed. I think these were rejects. I don't know. They're not in the best condition, but it's perfect for completely covering this up. So I'm going to start with this base just so it's a little smaller, so that not only do I end up with different looking tags, but I kind of end up with some different sized tags as well. And I've got the exact same shape for both of these. And so I'm going to start. I know that I determined that I wanted to, let's see. I think I did. I think I determined that I wanted to put some of this up here. But I want to, again, I got to avoid, I got to make sure that I get it in the right spot. I can do that. And I'm not worried about something like this little nick, although actually what I could do is that. Yeah, I could do that. That's perfect. So let me do that. Let me glue this. And this is where I'm going to start. Is my glue going to come out? Is it? Yeah. Okay, I decided to add some rock candy. It's a crackle, it's a clear glossy crackle. I'm going to add to this little butterfly. And so it'll need to dry for a few minutes. But, let's see, I probably need my tweezers. I already cut it out. What did I do with them? Here we go. I think it'll give it a nice effect. Just a little bit of shine. And this little butterfly I cut from Fabulous Floral Flourishes. So I've got, maybe I'm gonna put that a little thicker on there. Give it a nice crackle. I've got, of course, the base tag from Compendium MK2. And then I have the yellow pieces are from Mega Mix and Match Set 2. And now I'm adding the butterfly here from Fabulous Floral Flourishes. And so I'm gonna let all of this just dry for a moment and move on to the next one that is just all about rips. It's rips. Everything on it is going to be ripped. So there won't be a die cut butterfly or a fussy cut butterfly. So I'm gonna set that aside and pull this one over and set that aside for a moment while the butterfly dries. Okay, I kind of had an idea here too of what I wanted to do. So I think I'll start with this piece, and I'm just gonna go ahead and lay this whole thing down, even though I know a large portion of this is gonna get covered. So same thing, I'm gonna fast forward through this part while I play with how I want these little puzzle pieces to be laid down. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm trimming my edges as I lay a piece down, and I'm doing that so I don't lose sight of where the tag is behind me. I want to, make sure that I don't end up putting pieces way off on the side that I really wanted. As part of the tag. I don't know if that makes any sense whatsoever, but that's my story and I'm sticking to it. So you're gonna be looking at this and you're gonna be saying, oh, I would have done XYZ, or I would have done, ABC. That's fine, because there is no right or wrong on any of this, and everybody does things a little different, but hopefully I'm getting my point across that this is all, these are all mix and matchable and mega mix and matchable. Everything is mix and matchable. And there's nothing wrong with deconstructing and reconstructing. That's better. That's better. Now where do I want it? Let's come back to that. Okay, let's come back over here. And we've got some crackle going on here. It's nice. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just put some color that'll hopefully, seep down into those cracks just a little bit. Put my paper over here. And I'm going to use just my stain, my walnut stain. I'm just gonna dab her up. Both sides. And I'm kind of pushing down, trying to get that ink kind of down in there. There are better ways to do this, but I thought this would be easy. We'll see. And then I'm just gonna drip a little bit of water on there. Just kind of let that sit for a second and just dab her up. Dab her up. There we go. Pretty little girl. Oops. And it's got a really neat texture. So let me see if I can show it to you. Pretty. Little sheen to it. And so that'll be really pretty, I think, on here somewhere. I just have to decide where I want it. And I think I want it coming. No. And so what I've done is on this piece, it's completely deconstructed. Torn apart. I took the tag and I literally cut it apart. And I Let's go there. And then I took a few pieces from another tag that I cut apart. Or actually, I don't know if it was a tag. I think it was actually, I think it was a folder. And added that. Added those pieces here, 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 and here. And then the butterfly from yet another tag, which I fussy cut out and really didn't do a very good job, but that's all right. And I'm just going to glue him down right in the center. I'm going to kind of bend his wings a little. I'm going to have him kind of connecting the pieces here. And that'll flatten out, you know, as it's used. What do you do with my tweezers? But for now, he's bent up a little bit. She, that's totally a she. There we go. Okay, and so now what I need to do on this one, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put just a itty bitty tiny bit of glue right here on the tip of this wing. So that there's a little bit of dimension. There we go. And that'll help that the rock candy that I put on top. It'll help it shine a little bit because you can kind of see, you know, when you move it around. I don't know if that makes any sense. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Because now what I'm going to do is rub just a little bit of sandpaper over this. So these are just the kinds of little finishing things that you can do when you're making tags. Has very little to do with this project. I just want to give that a little bit of wear on the edges. I like sanding, sometimes I like sanding the edges. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably put a little bit of wax on this. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of ochre around this edge where I just sanded it, just to finish off the tag. This is liquid acrylic, and it doesn't take much. I just kind of want to use that as just a finishing touch to tie the pieces in together. So I'm just going to kind of sloppily slap that on. And so I'm using this kind of like I might a little bit of a ink. And I'm just going to wipe off. There we go. Just to give it some wear and tear. So on this one, I'm going to slide that off. There we go. On this one, I'm going to use some patina wax paste on the edges and just a few key spots, you know, kind of, there's a little flower, little blue going on down there. So I'm just gonna bring that in a little bit. Bring that in a little here, hit the edge here. Okay, I think we're done. Deconstruct, reconstruct. Here's the tag. The tag I'm using in the entire series is a starting point or a base or components thereof, and that's kind of what this is. This is components of this tag. Rearrange, set up differently different things brought in and added to it. On this tag, I cut everything with my scissors. I brought in the yellow plaid and the yellow plate back here and this flower and the butterfly from different kits. Let's see, I brought them in from Mega Mix and Match 1 and I think Mega Mix and Match 2. I don't even know now. Mega Mix and Match 2 is where this and these two pieces came from. Actually, I think this little butterfly came from Fabulous Floral Flourishes. And so it's done. You could write something here. So I kind of left that blank so that that could be done. And then of course, my back is messy. I would normally cover the back with some tea dye paper. It's not too late. I can pull this off and do that. But there he is. There he is. She, he. Okay. Then the second one, I'm not in love with this one, but it worked. Same basic thing. The difference is when I deconstructed this tag, I ripped everything. I didn't use my scissors on any of this except to trim my edges around the outside of the tag. And so, again, this piece and this piece are brought in from different kits. I used rock candy, clear rock candy from Tim Holtz on the top of both of these. This one is not completely dry yet, so that's why it's got a little bit of it's not completely dry right there. Did a little slightly different on the topper. On this one, I put a rusty washer that I've got covered with glossy accents. That seals that rust so that it's not dangerous at all. And this is just a hole reinforcer, sticky hole reinforcer. But yeah, that's it. Those are deconstructed, reconstructed tags from, so tags 3 and 4 from the 1 tag 8 ways. And so now we've got 4 tags done. And hopefully they all look different. Hopefully they all look different. Let's see if I can arrange them so that you can actually see them here on the screen. There you go. And stay tuned for next Wednesday. This is the end of sort of me playing with strictly paper. Starting next week, I'm going to be incorporating a lot more mixed media. I've got, the rock candy I used, and that's great. That's fun. That's a neat medium to work with. But I'm going to be using texture paste, crackle paste, whatever else comes to mind as I'm playing along. And so these first two weeks, I thought it made more sense just to really focus more on playing with the paper. And in the last 2 weeks, I'll focus more on how to now take those papers and to the next level and play with some mixed media additions to change up your tags. So I hope you will join me in next Wednesday for more of 1 tag 8 ways. And actually, no, let's be honest, I think it's going to end up being 10 ways. 1 tag 10 ways. But join me. I'll be back. Thanks again for watching today. I really appreciate your support. And if you're not currently a subscriber, there is a subscribe button. My little logo on this screen is a subscribe button. So if you click that and then turn on notifications, you'll be notified when I upload a video. So until next time, thank you so much. Bye-bye.